Good morning and welcome to the New Year's edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, either now live or later on the replay, I'm Leon. I'm the head trainer here over at Back to Basics Dog Training. Actually, the only trainer here right now at Back to Basics Dog Training. And it is my pleasure to bring to you each and every week this live free dog training Q&A session. Excuse me while I look at my phone for 1 second. I just want to pull the live feed up on my phone to make sure that everything is working okay for you guys. I just got to mute my volume here. Alrighty, so welcome. Again, this is Leon from Back to Basics Dog Training, and as always, each and every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, I bring you this live free dog training Q&A session to answer all your dog training questions or needs or wants. No questions are off limits, guys, so feel free to fire away. This is our last show, of course, for the 2022. Thank you all for a full year, a couple years now of me doing this and you guys tuning in. I really do appreciate it. And as always, please, if you're watching now or later on in the replay, shoot me a comment. Let me know you're watching, where you're watching from. It always does my heart good to see people being interactive here with me, asking the questions or just giving me a shout out and saying, hey, what's up? So as always, I'm going to start off with a subject or a topic that I got questioned on this week. Somebody posted on the replay of last week's version that we talked about excessive barking, and it's been helpful to her. So if she's watching now, if she could put a comment in, let me know how it's going still. She put a comment out there, I think yesterday. But one of the things she was saying is she has a rescue dog. She's had it for, I don't remember exactly, but I think about 10 months. And the dog was doing excessive barking. She's been working on some of the techniques I taught her. That seems to be going good. But the dog is also exhibiting some other behaviors she's not sure how to handle, resource guarding, reactions to other dogs, and things like that. So I want to talk a little bit about rescue dogs. And a common mistake we all make, because we want these dogs to feel so much love and so much affection because of whatever they went through in their past. Matter of fact, I had the privilege of working with somebody last night or yesterday afternoon into last night with their rescue dog that had a horrible first couple months, 3, 4, 5 months, I don't remember exactly, of their lives. And because we know their backstories, we live in their backstory. And instead of moving them forward, we kind of coddle them because we want them to feel love. And guys, don't get me wrong. We love the dogs. We want them to feel that connection with us. But we have to do it more on a primal level, their level, not the human level. Guys, I've said it before, and I know some people are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. You are allowed. That's the beauty of this country. The hugging and the kissing of dogs is for us. It is not for the dog. We do that. It makes us feel good. If you ever watch dogs naturally, they don't hug and kiss each other. Yes, they sometimes show they'll snuggle together. Yes, they'll kiss each other. But that is not affection the way we give affection. The hugging and the kissing is for us. To show a dog true love in our world, you have to start with clear rules, boundaries, and limitations. You need to set that structure for them. From the day we bring them home, they need this. You know, we've all read stories on Facebook, and I've talked about it too. Rescue dogs need what they call decompression time. Decompression time is real, and that could be anywhere from, 2 weeks to 6 months, where they're decompressing, they're learning, they're absorbing, they're trying to figure out where they stand in their new environment, their new pack. And it's when they get through the decompression is when you're going to start seeing their true colors and who they really are. But the beauty is that if from day one, if you start setting those clear boundaries and the clear structure with them, that decompression isn't as bad, as it doesn't rear its ugly head in ways that we don't want to see. I always tell people, when we're dealing with dogs' behavior, and I'm talking about behavior, I'm not talking about obedience. And remember, in my world, there's a huge difference between obedience and behavior. Obedience is a dog sitting on command, laying down on command. That's all great. But behavior is that state of mind that I keep talking about. Good morning, Bonnie. Um, I'll get to the question in a second. So when we work with the behavior, that starts day one by setting very clear rules, boundaries, and limitations, that structure that every living creature needs to teach them how we expect them to live in our homes. So with that being said, I'm just going to jump over to what Bonnie's asking me here. And good morning and happy New Year, Bonnie. I recently placed two very scared dogs into a foster home. The foster's families having other resident dogs made it difficult. Good morning, Jackie. Um, residence dog made all the difference. Can you give me some way these dogs cannot be scared of humans in the kennel? They were completely shut down, and I had to carry them outside to go potty. But I saw them; they came live with other puppies, and more help very scared dogs. Thank you. Okay, so and this plays into what I was talking about with my customer last night that I had the privilege of working with. I don't like the term scared. They're insecure. Scared is, yes, it's a human thing, guys. They're insecure. They're unsure of what's going on. When we deal with insecure dogs, everything has to slow down. If you have another balanced dog in that pack, they are going to help them. Because remember, dogs understand energy. So if they have a balanced dog in the pack, it's going to help them. These insecure dogs along in the long run. I can't think of the words. So one, if they have a balanced dog, that's going to be great. If they don't, and the humans need to do it, slow and steady is the right way to do it. And the dog I worked with last night is an insecure dog. And it doesn't necessarily, it warmed up to the human mom, but not the human dad so much. And never mind, forget about strangers. So the biggest mistake we make when we're dealing with these insecure dogs who don't understand anything is we tend to try to rush the process. And I tell people, slow it way down. Don't try to become the dog's BFF. That's the biggest mistake we make is, well, we want them to feel loved and we come on, I love you. When we force the dog to do something it's not comfortable with, slow it down. Let the dog try to figure out a lot of it on its own. If they're really shut down and scared, keep them on a leash, keep them close. Don't force issues with them. I worked with a lot of scared dogs, and Monty, you know this. What I would do if I had the scared dog, I would keep the dog tethered to me, leashed to me. I wouldn't drag it over to me. I wouldn't force the issue with the dog. But eventually and we saw this last night when I was working with this dog. Basically, I came in, I addressed the humans. I didn't address the dog. I saw the dog's body language. I felt the energy. I knew the dog was unsure of my presence. The big ugly guy was in the house. Didn't know what to do. We sat down on the couch. We engaged in conversation about a lot of things, but mostly dog psychology. And what they were noticed, because they were focused more on me than they were on their dog, is the dog went over to the dad looking for affection. And because he was so focused on me, he didn't make a big deal out of it. And at one point, the dog came over to me and started smelling my feet, doing what dogs should do. Still wasn't comfortable. At that point, I did not go to pet the dog. I let her figure this out by herself. And she didn't come over for affection. She just smelled me and walked away timidly. And then later on during our conversation, came to the other side, closer to my arms, and sniffed me. Still didn't reach out to pet her because she was telling me, hey, I need to figure out who you are. I'll come to you when I'm ready. And that's what we have to learn, guys, when we're dealing with these insecure dogs. Let them come to us. Stop forcing them. Stop trying to shove food in their face. Stop trying to make them become our best friends. They will come out of their shell if you satisfy what they're telling you. They're communicating. I'm not comfortable with you approaching me. Here's the caveat when you're dealing with these insecure dogs. If you force yourself on them, or people coming into your home forces themselves on these dogs, that is a bite waiting to happen. And I can't stress that enough. And put yourself in their shoes. If you feel trapped and you have no way out and somebody's coming over to you, you're going to punch them in the face. Well, dogs can't punch you in the face. They're going to bite you. So when you're dealing with insecurity, slow everything down. Let the dog figure out. And I always say with insecure dogs, and it may take you a while, master the walk back to basic style. I can't stress this enough. I know people on Long Island give me the excuse they got big backyards, the dogs got all this room to run. It's a bunch of crap, guys. We need to learn to walk these dogs in a structured way. Mastering the walk back to basic style. Go to my YouTube channel. It's a playlist, How to Leash Train My Dog in 5 Easy Steps. It's all about the structure. The walk that I designed, that I preach it to you guys every week, and I sound like a preacher when I talk about it, is designed for structure and leadership. Insecure dogs need that more than any other type of dog. They need to have the confidence. Those 3 C's I talk about, guys, you need to be this. Calm, confidence gets the control you need, period. If you are calm and confident, your dog will learn to trust you. And that starts with the walk. This is a passion of mine, guys. I don't know if you can tell by the way I'm reacting right now. The walk is so crucial if done properly. The walk is not about sniffing, smell every little freaking thing on the face of the earth. It's about structure. It's about traveling together, trusting me to drive the car. Let me lead you. Trust me, I'm never going to put you into that situation that's going to put you in harm. I'm never going to put you in a situation where you need to be insecure. Guys, let me know if this makes sense, because this is so crucial. And this goes to what the question was I had on the Facebook Live replay last week with how do we build up these dogs' confidence? Dogs show resource guarding. This is who the dog is. Well, one thing is if they're resource guarding certain toys or bully sticks or whatever, don't give it to them. Stop giving it to them. Make them earn it. You know, if they're resource guarding, they feel confident. That's mine. Don't touch it. Well, one thing in my world, my dogs own nothing. I give it to you, I can take it away. I don't give them anything. I don't care if it's a bully stick, a marrow bone from the butcher, a fluffy toy, a ball, anything. I don't give them anything out of with excitement. You want this? You want? Look what I got for you! Yay, 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 yay! Because then I give it to them, and then I want to take it back, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! What's going on here, dude?" And that's what you can get. So what I do, I make them earn these things. It may be just a simple basic obedience. Sit. Look at me. Don't focus on this inanimate object. Do not focus on this marrow bone or this bully stick or this fluffy toy. Focus on me because I'm the one giving it to you. When I give it to you, that means it's mine and I can take it away at any time. But I do everything based on calm. If I see the dog is, I want the bully stick, I want the bully stick, I want the bully stick, and they're twitching and they're shaking and they're I'm not going to give it to you. Whoa, my chair thing came out again. I give it to them only when I see them in a calm state of mind. So guys, again, let me know in the comments if this makes sense, because this is so, so important for you and for your dogs, that everything, even on the insecure dogs, we have to remain calm. Calm confidence gets the control we need. The calmer you are, the more your energy is going to be overpowering. And I'll give you an example. And I'm going to use last night as an example. And if they're watching, put a comment in. Let me know what you thought of the process. Last night we were trying to get this insecure dog into the crate, and it did not want to go in there. They've put it in the crate before. It whined, it cried, especially once I shut the door. So I did my routine, and I got the leash and applied a little pressure. Dog relaxed. I continued, threw a temper tantrum, let it go through its temper tantrum, continued, and I'm like, kennel. Dog's name is Kimmy. Kimmy, kennel. Got Kimmy in the kennel. As soon as she got in, I let her out again. But I released her. She didn't come out on her own. And we repeated this process multiple times. Never shut the door. I used my legs. As I built up the duration of her staying in the crate, I used my body language to tell her to stay in the crate. So if she tried to get out, my no, nope, hey, whatever my discipline sound was, nope. And I walked closer to her using my body language. No leash pop, no nothing. And she backed up and she sat. When she sat, I invited her out. And we built up duration for a few seconds, maybe 20, 30 seconds. And then without telling the owners, I said, well, she went in pretty good. The temper tantrum wasn't so bad. And each, by the way, just so you know, when I was doing this process with her, the first temper tantrum lasted, I don't know, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I don't even remember how long it lasted. The next temper tantrum was half of that. And the next temper tantrum was half of that. So each time it got easier and easier for me to guide her, not force her, not drag her, guide her into her crate. And she did really good. So she got in there. I was like, Kimmy, kennel or crate. I don't remember what I said. And she went in. I put the leash low, and I started to shut the cage door, the crate door. But I wasn't watching the dog. I was watching the parents, and mom was like, uh-oh. I actually had to become calmer at that point because mom got nervous because I shut the door. I didn't latch it. I just shut it. And I knew she was going to react that way because one of the triggers was the door closing. But mom and dad needed to see that I was able to shut the door and she did not freak out. She didn't wig out. Why? Because when I put her in there each time, the 3 C's came into effect. Calm, confidence. I got the control. She was willing to listen to me. After a few times of doing this, I wouldn't just put her in and take her out. I waited for her to look at me before I would take her out. So now I became more relevant in that process. And this is all dealing with an insecure dog or a scared dog, whatever words we want to use, guys. But by guiding, and I use that word guiding purposely because too many people force dogs to do things. We force dogs to become our BFFs. That would just set them back. We force dogs to go into crates. That makes the crate a negative. We force dogs to go into cars. That makes cars negative. Oh, it doesn't want to get in the car, but we have to get somewhere. So we pick it up and we shove the dog in the car. Stop it. You're not sure of your dog. It's a new dog to the family. You need to go someplace. Take your time to get the dog in the car. There's exercises you can do. I gave the hints to these people, the people I had the privilege and pleasure to work with last night about that car thing because the dog is very nervous in the car. A lot of panting. It gets itself so worked up. It poops. It vomits because it gets itself so worked up. So we got to make that car represent calm. And those are exercises you need to do. And teach your dogs the car is actually a good thing. But if you're nervous or if you're going to force the dog into the car becomes a negative. And we never want the cars to become negative. We don't want the crates to become negative. We don't want their dog bed to become negative. Too many people use the crate as punishment. Stop using the crate as punishment. Punishment doesn't happen. Dog is not going to go to its room and think about what it did. So don't use the crate as a punishment. Dog's misbehaving. Deal with the unwanted behavior right there and then. And always put a dog in a crate or in a car only if you're calm and confident. Because if you're not, your energy is going to make those things bad. If you're sitting there like last night when I went to shut that door and you're like, okay, I know she's going to react. I know she's going to react. Guess what? She's going to react. But you got to take your time, especially guys, when you're dealing with, like Bonnie asked, the insecure, scared, nervous, anxious, whatever dog. Slow everything down. Stop trying to forcing the dog to do something. Listen to what they're saying, because if you listen to what they're saying, they'll trust you. And you respect what they're saying. Same way we expect our human counterparts to respect and listen to what we're saying. And respect us when we need our space. Respect us when we need that affection. Respect us no matter what. Listen to what your dog is saying. Now, they're not going to verbalize it. What they're going to tell you is with their body language and their energy, what they're communicating. And if you learn to listen to what they're saying, you will see this nervousness, insecurity, scared, anxious dog. All those behaviors start going away because you're giving them time to figure out how to coexist with you. It's all a insecure dog is. It just doesn't know. So your job is to guide it through this journey and go along with the journey by communicating properly with your dog. Guys, please put in the comments. Let me know if this makes sense. It's a passion of mine. These insecure dogs get such a bad rap when they bite somebody because we are forcing our affection on them. Let them come to us. They will. This dog last night proved it. When I first walked into the house, I walked near it. It took off, went to a different part of the house, didn't want anything to do with me. But by totally ignoring it, it came over to me. When after I got done doing all this nonsense and putting it into a position, setting the dog up to succeed by setting it up for failure, I was able to pet the dog after this crating incident, and it wasn't. Even though I'm the one who put it into this uncomfortable position, the dog understood what I was doing was for her benefit. And that all came from me listening to what she was telling me. Yes, I know the backstory of the dog. Yes, the humans were living there a little bit. It started coming out of its shell. They thought it was a good thing, but it was actually showing unwanted behaviors. One of the things I tell people, when the dog finally came over to me and sniffed my feet and then came over to the side by my hand, I didn't reach over to pet it. I didn't tell them, don't make a big deal out of this. Because if the dog came over to smell my feet and mom and dad were like, oh my God, look at this, look how good she's doing, that would have scared her. That would have freaked her out. Why? Because that's nature. But whoa, what just happened? Why did you react that way? All I was doing was sniffing. It comes over time. The worst thing to do with insecure, scared, anxious, nervous dogs is to rush the process and put a time limit on it. These dogs are in foster care. I don't know how long they're going to be there. Fostering is the next step to getting them forever home. Fosters need to do a lot of work, but it's not always about hugging and kissing and making the dog become our best friend. Take the time. Take the dogs for good structured walks. Guide them, lead them, teach them, and they follow. That's why I'm able to work with these dogs that have been in horrible situations. And Bonnie, I've worked with a lot of dogs that people gave up on. It's because nobody listened to what they were saying. We have to learn how to listen, guys. They talk to us. They communicate to us. They don't use the verbal, but they are communicating to us all day long. But are you hearing them? So I hope that made sense. Same thing. If your dog is resource guarding, and guys, I think at the end I got to talk to the customer, but in the end of January, I'll be going back up to New York for 2 weeks to do a 2-week basically a board and train with a dog, a 9-month-old puppy that is resource guarding. I'm going to ask permission from the people if I can videotape the process of the training to make it so we can become a little bit more transparent with you guys, to show you how I handle it. Dog resource guards, that's fine. I'm going to teach it that that's not acceptable. But it's not going to be teaching them with this. It'll be teaching them with this. They're going to want to give me that bully stick by the time I'm done. Why? Because I'm going to communicate and I'm going to listen to what they're telling me. Guys, I hope this all makes sense to you. We're at the magic half-hour mark. I know it's the holiday weekend. I don't want to keep you guys on here too long. I am going to be starting January. I'm not sure if it's going to be the first week yet, but I'll post it on my Facebook page. Going to start doing 2 of these a week. One is probably going to be a Tuesday evening, either at 7 or 8 o'clock. I'm not sure yet, because I want to start getting this stuff out to the people across the country. And I think doing it later in the day would definitely help. This 11 o'clock is 8 o'clock in the morning in California. It's a Saturday. Who wants to be up listening to this idiot talking about dog training at 8 o'clock in the morning? So I think I'm going to do one at 8 o'clock at night, which will put it around 5 o'clock at night on the West Coast, and throughout the country, different times. So we're going to be doing 2 of these a week. So I'm going to need you guys to start sending me questions, things you guys want me to talk about. I'm going to post this out on my Facebook page, probably on Michelle's from Memory Rescue's Facebook page. Questions you guys want me to address. Every week I come up with a topic and I base it on what I see on my comments or on Facebook going around. But if you guys have questions, shoot them to me. Email me. I'll put my information up here if I can find it, because I never know where it is. Here we go. So you guys can always reach out to me at info@backtobasicsdogtraining.com. Send me your questions that you want me to address during my lives. The more questions I get, the more dogs we can help. So, we really, really want to bring this to, in 2023. We want to get more people involved in our lives. We're going to try to do different ways to do it. I still want to do my interviews. Need help with the resource. My girl is no longer allowed Himalayan shoes. That's fine. Jackie, if she's resource guarding, take everything away. Everything away. Stop leaving toys out. Make her earn these rewards. But you have to do it only when she's in a calm mind. I would suggest, and I'm going to be doing, like I said, I'm going to be doing this with this dog when I go up to New York. It's going to earn the toys I'm going to give. I'm going to have the dog on a leash. This dog happens to be e-collar conditioned, which is not a bad way to do it. And I'm going to give her the toys when she's in a calm state of mind. And then I'm going to work on the drop it command. And I'm going to make her give up these things. But it's going to be a slow process. Because right now she's afraid to give up these things for whatever reason. Your dog may be the same thing. So if she's afraid, I'm not going to force the issue, but she's going to give it up. The leash gives me access. If she does go to try to bite me, I can move her away. I can make a correction. She may not like it, but if you stay repetitive and you stay calm and confident that, hey, I understand what you're saying, but I still need this. You're going to give it to me. And when you give it to me, I don't care if I'm holding it, and eventually you have to open up your mouth. You are going to get rewarded. This is going to be a food motivated thing. I'm not going to redirect her with food, which is one of the tricks out there where they have this toy, they're resource guarding it. I'm going to give you a piece of chicken to get that toy, because that's just telling me I act like an idiot. I get a treat. No, you're going to get the treat when you give me what I ask for. When I ask for it, I'm going to give you the treat, because that's going to be rewarded, and that's going to be a good thing. And, I did work with this dog the last time I was up in New York, and it would have a toy, and I would reach over and just take it out of its mouth. It was fine with me. My energy was right on. Resource guarding, guys, is really, really hard. I'm going to focus on that for the next month or so. I'm not ready to really go into a full-blown discussion, because resource guarding, guys, you have to be very careful of, because you can get hurt. And I have to be careful what I say, because you can get hurt. So we're going to try to come up with ways that we can make this clearer for you to understand and for your dog to understand. But I got to do my research and get this really drilled into my head, because resource guarding seems to be a huge issue towards the end of 2022. Bonnie says, so speaking about giving up, I have another foster giving up on her foster dog because the foster is guarding her and not letting her resident dog near her. I think it's her fault. It is her fault, because the coddling the foster. Any way to fix this before the pup loses its home? Dog was heartworm positive, so she did probably baby the foster. Yeah, there's ways to fix this. The dog is guarding the human. Well, one thing is, if it's guarding especially on the furniture, dog shouldn't be on the furniture. You have to earn that privilege. Second thing is, she has to disagree with the dog's unwanted behavior and follow through with the consequence. So if she's with the foster dog and her other dog comes over and the foster dog's body language changes in any way, and it does, there's always a warning. It could be, why are you coming near me? It could be, a little lip curl, whatever. Boom, no, off if they're on the furniture. I say keep it on a leash. It's easier, so you can make your leash correction, and then the dog gets off, and the dog is not allowed to react, and you have to wait her through, because the mind is here. She's a resource. No. Oh, okay. But the dog is still very stiff, very stiff. Dog's not calm yet. When the foster dog is calm, she can then praise the calm, invite her back up on the couch, whatever she wants to do, and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. But the one that she's guarding needs to be the discipline. It's the same thing with the house that I worked at last night. The dog bonded with the mother and follows the mother around the house. And I said, you have to disagree with that. Not the husband not dad disagree, mom has. No, you don't need to come to the bathroom with me. It takes time. Dogs will claim a weak energy. And that's why I tell people, and I know I sound cruel when I say this, but guys, believe me, everything I say is for the love of the dog. We have to learn to stop smothering them with affection. We tend to do affection when they really need exercise, discipline, and then the affection. Exercise this, and exercise doesn't mean going for the walk. Exercise is doing something. You have to earn the privilege to come on the couch. You have to earn the privilege to cut me out of a crate. You have to earn. That's part of exercise. Mental exercise. Discipline is when they make the mistake. But it's not about just saying no. Like I said, in this case, guarding the human. No for doing it. Good when calm. So we want to turn those no's into yeses. So we got to discipline. But we want to discipline with the intent of turning that no into a yes. Same thing with the resource guarding. Same thing with the dog that's overly excited. Same thing with the dog that's insecure. Same thing with anything. We want to turn no's into yeses. But you can't turn that no into a yes unless that dog's mind is in the calm state of mind, because that's the yes. That's the grand slam in the 9th inning when your team is losing by 3. That's the yes. That calm state of mind, no matter what. If it's insecure, I got a calm state of mind. Yes. If it's aggressive, forget all this other nonsense. Truly 100% aggressive, which, by the way, is very rare. When they're in a calm state of mind, I turn that no into a yes. When they're insecure and they do something, the crate last night, I turned those no's into yeses. No food was involved last night. I did recommend to the owners to use food. But if we learn to look at that state of mind, we do our no's very calm but assertive. And then when we see that state of mind change, praise them, give them the affection. That's the state of mind we want to work on. And if we can stop living in the past with these dogs, no matter what their past is, the moment they come into our homes, be it we're adopting them or we're fostering them, we start setting clear rules, boundaries, and limitations, set up the structure, these dogs will flourish. I can't stress this enough. I can't stress this enough. If people would set the rules from day one, this incident that Bonnie's talking about right now, where the foster's ready to give up on this dog, would never happen. Dog is heartworm positive. Oh, well. Think about what another dog would do. Another dog wouldn't say, oh, you're heartworm positive. Oh, my poor baby. Let me take care of you. No, they're going to be like, you're a freaking dog. Let's go. Let's play. Let's do something. But they're going to set the rules. They're not going to feel bad for it because it's heartworm positive. We feel bad. And as hard as it is, you can't. And it sucks. But the end result is so worth it. Guys, I hope this makes sense. I know I sound cruel. I understand it. I'm human. I love these dogs to death, and that's why I'm willing to do what I need to do. Excuse me, to get them to a place of balance. Because that's all we're trying to do. What does that sign behind me say? Let me get the hell out of the way. I'm 100% committed to bringing your dogs back to balance. That's what it's about. We balance them by setting the rules, the boundaries, the limitation, the structure they need, their balance. Then we can do more affection than exercise and discipline. even though that never ends. But the affection comes when they're balanced. When you're bringing in a dog that you don't know it's past, or even if you do know it's past, it is so much more important for you to set the structure than do the affection. That's my biggest problem with rescue dogs and fosters is we feel bad for them. And again, guys, I do feel bad for them. Never when I'm working with them. I feel bad for them when I'm by myself. And I know I get very passionate about this because I see the failures happening day in and day out. And there's no reason for it. That's why I ask you guys, please, especially Bonnie, people, and I know, Bonnie, you share the crap out of me, but people who are rescues, who work with rescues, who force, share Back to Basics Dog Training SC Facebook page, share it to your fellow dog lovers out there across the country and around the world, because we can do this together. You know, my key saying, and I say it every week, is, if I can find it, there it is. Together, we can help one dog and one family at a time. But I need you guys to help me spread the word. Spread the gospel, whatever you want to say. You know, make this fun. Make it about the dogs. Don't make it about ourselves. Because if we follow what I'm saying or what I'm asking you to do, then we have all the joy in the world with these dogs. And it could take a month. It could take 6 months. I don't know. It's depending on the dog. It depends on the, you know, every dog's an individual. But once we get there, once we get them back to balance, the life we share with them is invaluable. And that's what I want for everybody. That's what I want for every one of these dogs that we talk about. Every one of the dogs I've worked with over the years. That's what I want. I want them to be calm and confident because they know I'll never put them in a situation that's going to hurt them. That's my job. So, guys, I hope that helps. I hope this week I think I got a little bit more passion than I've had in a long time on it. So remember, I'll post it out again on the Facebook pages. I'll be doing 2 of these a week coming up soon. Please let people know. The more people we get out there, you know, people like Bonnie, that's part of 1,000 different rescue groups, share my information with all the rescue groups. It doesn't matter where they're located. And remember, guys who are around the country that aren't my local South Carolina, North Carolina area, if you have issues that you need me to address one-on-one with you, we can always do Zoom training sessions. It's definitely an economical way of doing dog training. And you get one-on-one with you about your issues instead of me bouncing all over the place, where I can give you specific things to help your specific issues. Because the way I train it, it's about understanding your dog's psychology and fulfilling their dog needs first. And then you just have to take the ball and run with it. I'll give you all the tools, all the knowledge. Zoom is definitely economical. Hell, guys, it's $75 a session. How often can you get a dog trainer basically in your living room for an hour and a half to 2 hours for $75? So it's definitely something we can help you on that way as well. So with that being said, guys, if there is no other questions, thank you for a great 2022. I'm looking forward to new and exciting things in 2023 with you guys going on the journey with me. As always, stay healthy, stay safe. God bless. Remember, together we can help one dog and one family at a time. Happy New Year's, guys. Happy, healthy, and safe New Year, and we'll see you next year.